22 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Thursday morning. You know, I don't think there's anybody who doesn't like hearing about hot, sexy women. I just think, you might say you don't, but I think you're lying to me if you're saying you don't. All right, Robin, am I right about this?
Right.
Everybody likes hot, sexy women.
Yes, they do. They all have their own taste.
Have you ever heard of Sophie Tucker?
Not until we got the book about from our guests.
Neither had I. And this is going to be an interesting conversation. It's certainly an interesting book. The book is called I Am Sophie Tucker, but it is a fictional memoir. So that's where I get confused, because this was a hot book. I had to throw it into the ice a couple of times. Lloyd Ecker and Susan Ecker are on the phone. They are the authors of this book. They happen to be filmmakers as well, so I wonder if there's a film to be made soon. They are the developers of something called babytobe.com, by the way, also. So I'm not really sure if there's a connection there. But let's talk about this book, I Am Sophie Tucker, a fictional memoir, the first book in the Sophie Tucker trilogy. So there's more to come. And we all like to talk about hot, sexy women.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Lloyd and Susan Ecker, good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Hello.
Where are you? Where are you calling from?
Now we're in Florida.
Where? Where are you in Florida?
We are in Deerfield, Florida. We are promoting the movie that you mentioned. We made a documentary about Sophie Tucker called The Outrageous Sophie Tucker. And that's from all the research that we've done. We created that film, and then we wrote this book.
It's the world theatrical premiere in southern Florida here. We'll get to you guys next, probably.
All right. So who is Sophie Tucker?
Well, Sophie was an entertainer from 1906 all the way to 1966, a 60-year career. She was the first woman to get on stage and be a little blue. She used something called innuendo. Now, today's people, like Gaga and Madonna before her, they just go right for the four-letter words, but we found a woman who was much more clever and was the first to get up there and say something like, what did she say, Sif?
She said, my husband has the biggest, no, I'm sorry, wrong. My boyfriend has the biggest dinghy in the Navy.
Oh, wow. Okay, and was she kind of like the Kathy Griffin of her day, or the who was another one, Joan Rivers, who just passed away? Was she kind of like that?
Well, I think she paved the way for them. I think she was a big, heavy woman who was confident and brash, but classy at the same time. So yeah, I think that she paved the way for those women to do the kinds of work that they do, and I think that. In terms of Lady Gaga and Madonna, I think it also paved the way for them as well. And I think they were also clever. I don't want to, I disagree with my husband, and he says that, Sophie was more clever. I think they're all clever. I just think that Sophie was the woman who paved the way for that kind of entertainment in this century.
She was a role model, too, because being a large woman, she made it okay for women of her time, and we hope women of this time, to feel good about themselves no matter what they look like, because she was not a beauty, as you can see on the cover of that book, nor anybody can imagine right now. She was,
she was a fat woman, and she used it. She used that. She said, "I'm fat, and I have more to give because there's more of me to love." And,
I'm all about the bass girl, right? Well, she's not. I mean, she's a cute girl. Do you know what when this book first came? We've had this book a while now, and I remember saying to Robin, "This proves that sexy is as sexy does." To kind of paraphrase Forrest Gump, because it's we're led to believe it's about the looks. But it's not really. It's the attitude. An attractive woman might not be as sexy as an unattractive woman if she is sexy, if you know what I mean.
It's all in the attitude, absolutely. And she is the real Forrest Gump of the first half of the 20th century, because she did meet kings and queens and interact with them, presidents from all the 60 years that she was in show business. So she was interacting with famous people throughout her career. But yes, sexy is as sexy does is definitely could be her motto.
Queen Elizabeth was on her knee as an honorary godmother because godchild, because she was friends with the Duke, the stuttering king that we all know now from that last movie.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. So you fictionalized the memoir. Was that necessary to fill in the blanks, or did you just spice it up a bit, or what?
After reading the 400 scrapbooks that were left to the New York Public Library and to Brandeis University, we got a sense of her voice. And the best way to fall in love with Sophie is, I think, the way we fell in love with Sophie, to hear her voice. And that's why we did it in the first person.
And not only that, we read her original autobiography, and it turns out that 85% of what her ghostwriters wrote, and by the way, she had 4 ghostwriters try to get this printed over a 10-year period until finally in 1945 they printed it, but 85% of what she got out there was fiction. we found out from our research, and about 15% was real.
Oh, my goodness, really?
After we were done with our research, after 8 years, we were able to write the real autobiography and have about 85% real, and about 15% we're not so sure.
Oh, that's too funny. We need to take a little break for weather. I'm so looking forward to this conversation, and when we come back, we'll have a good 12 nonstop minutes. So let's take that break and get it out of the way, and we'll be right back. We're learning about Sophie Tucker. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be partly sunny today, nice and warm, high 81 to 85. Partly cloudy tonight, will drop to the mid and upper 50s and a few inland spots, 64 along the coast. Tomorrow, partly sunny, breezy, less humid, the high between 70 in the north and 77 in the south. For Saturday, intervals of clouds and sun. There may be a late day shower near the coast, the high 73 to 79. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization you choose. Simply send an email to WOCA@WOCA.com. And in 350 words or less, tell us why the organization you are nominating should receive 50 free chicken sandwiches from WOCA and Chick-fil-A at the Paddock Mall. We'll review your nominations and then select one deserving organization each month. We'll announce the winner and even read the winning entry on the air. Make sure to include the contact name and phone number of the organization that you are nominating. And thanks from your friends at WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Hi, my name is Dr. Erica Olstein with A Better You Healthcare Acupuncture and Eastern Medicine. As primary care physicians, we use acupuncture to treat back pain, arthritis, migraines, allergies, high blood pressure, thyroid disorders, hormone imbalances, stress, and more using all natural medical therapies. We treat the source of your problems, not just your symptoms. For more information, go to abetteryouhealthcare.com or call today to set up your appointment, 352-615-5566.
All right, 12 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for listening. Lloyd and Susan Ecker are on the phone. They are talking about the book that they've written called I Am Sophie Tucker, a fictional memoir, and it is about the real Sophie Tucker. And they have a film also that they're debuting down in South Florida and hopefully will be debuting or bringing here to our town soon. You know, I wanted to ask you both something. When somebody is risque in their act, they're not necessarily promiscuous in their real life, but if we, the public, find out that they are, we don't care. It's like if you're a priest, you better not be promiscuous, or if you're one of those evangelists, you better not, or a politician, you know. Mm-hmm. But if you're Larry Flint, we don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so was she promiscuous as well as being a risque performer?
No. As a matter of fact, she was the opposite. She was not somebody who would sleep around or whatever. As a matter of fact, she was married 3 times, but but we felt that the reason she got married is because she wanted to make it legal. When she found somebody that she loved, she wanted to make it legal. And so she would get married, even though she knew it was going to be difficult in that kind of profession to have a marriage last.
But on the other hand, she, in her public life, she tried to get arrested as many times as possible. As a matter of fact, the first time a woman got arrested on stage was Sophie Tucker back in 1910 because she sang a song called The Angle Worm Wiggle, and it wasn't about fishing.
Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny. So now, okay, so when I'm trying to imagine what it's like to be Madonna or one of these other, or even Mae West or any of them. If you're with her, like I saw a photo in here of Sophie Tucker with Sinatra and Milton Berle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So these are guys. Well, I don't know about Milton Berle, but Sinatra was known to be a womanizer. I guess that's not unfair to say. So if he knew her act but not her, he might assume she was an easy target, and she obviously, I'm guessing she wasn't, right?
No, she wasn't. And at that point in her career, she was more of a mentor than she was, somebody that he would womanize with. Because she had so much experience. Think about it. She'd been in show business since 1906. And so she was somebody that mentored these young stars, or stars to be, like Frank Sinatra and Judy Garland
And because, for instance, in Frank Sinatra's case, he idolized his mother, and he saw her as a mother figure. And when he met her, it was 1942 or 3 or 4 when he first started, and he had her on his radio show, and that he wouldn't allow them to make fat jokes because he idolized her so much. Another person that she was idolized by was Judy Garland. When she was like 14 or 15, she was doing one of her first movies, and they were in a movie together. And Judy Garland credits Sophie Tucker as the person who taught her how to put a song over. And then later on, when Judy Garland got in trouble and Frank Sinatra got in trouble in their careers, and they started, going off the deep end, she called them both and screamed and yelled at them like a mother, and they sort of straightened out for a while. I mean, except Judy. Judy ended up, after that screaming match, doing A Star Is Born in 1954 and getting nominated for an Academy Award. And Frank ended up making From Here to Eternity from the same screaming match. But unfortunately, they both went their ways after.
Well, and we can't say that it was solely Sophie Tucker, but certainly she had an influence.
Wow.
She certainly had this maternal influence.
Wow. And do we know her from anything? Like, can you tell me a movie I may have seen her in that I just forgot about?
There were 2 movies. One was called Broadway Melody of 1938. And the second was Thoroughbreds Don't Cry, which was Mickey Rooney was in that one.
Okay.
And
that's probably the reason that nobody remembers her at all, because she was about 10 years too old to be Mae West. She taught Mae West, too, by the way. She was her protege, too.
I know, her mentor.
And so the reason that this is all going to come about and everybody's going to know about Sophie Tucker is because our grand plan is to first do this documentary, and the book, probably because of you guys, will go to number 1 on the bestseller list.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah.
And so it's going to be a Broadway play, and we have enough material for, like you said, for 2 more books and about 60 episodes on HBO.
That's how much material she left in the scrapbook.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
You have copies of telegrams and note cards also in the book, along with different photos. And I mean, she is just such an amazing woman to be embraced by people from all generations and all walks of life.
Yes.
We saw a telegram, and I think you can see it in the book. She was in Paris, France in 1931, and it said, "They better like you or else." And it was signed by Al Capone.
Oh, no. That's crazy.
They were very good friends. Very good friends.
We had a discussion. You have a picture of the Statue of David in here, and we had this, I don't know if it's true or not, but we had this factoid that said 85% of the women who walk in to see David say, "Oh, my." And
Yeah.
why is David in the book?
Well, because she turned to her husband and said, "Well, I guess we know he was Jewish."
Does she have any children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren?
No, she had one son, but he never had any children. He got married, but he never had any children. And so there are no direct descendants. There's a couple of great-nieces and nephews, but no grandchildren or great-grandchildren.
We met a lot of the family that's still living, and they all were thrilled to do this.
Oh, that's wonderful. See, that would have been an easy question, but I forgot to ask it. Yeah, because it would make sense that you would be worried about somebody either appreciating, being grateful, or rejecting the idea. We had an author who did a story on Carly Simon, and Carly Simon hated it.
Yeah.
And the poor guy couldn't, because she, of course, was the say-so. And if you find out that the book about her is not liked by her, you don't want to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very shy, I heard.
Well, this book is about a woman that we fell in love with, and we're hoping that the audience would, the readers would fall in love with her as well.
Yeah.
And when we did the interviews of all these relatives for the movie that we made, they were very cooperative and very happy to help, and happy that Sophie would be maybe getting her due.
Can I ask you, both of you, would mind taking calls from listeners? The phone has been ringing. You got some people out there that know Sophie Tucker. Just because we don't know her doesn't mean our listeners don't know her. Good morning. You're on the air. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Lloyd and Susan. Good morning.
Hi, thank you. This is Kathy.
Yes.
Hi. Wasn't she known as the last of the Red Hot Mamas?
You bet she was.
That's what
Yes, she was. That
And to
was
me,
her name.
She sort of has some similarities to Ethel Merman, too.
She another protege of Sophie Tucker.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
So who did you get to play her in the movie? This seems...
No. The
What?
movie is a documentary, and Lloyd and I are the narrators of the movie.
Oh, so you have footage of her?
Yeah,
we do.
A ton.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I really can't wait to see
You've
it.
got to see this.
You really have to see the movie.
It's called The Outrageous Sophie Tucker.
You really do inspire the ladies of today, because Sophie Tucker is really, really timeless, because how many people are shy because of their weight or their hair or something like that, and they won't bring their talents out into the spotlight.
Well, as a matter of fact, Sophie realized when she first started in show business that she was to attract her audience, half of which were female. She, first of all, look glamorous, so she would always be wearing a magnificent dress. But because she talked about her figure and her being fat, she was able to put her audience at ease and make them feel comfortable with themselves, and that's why she had this rapport with her audience.
And they said, if she can look like that, then I can look like that. And that's what they did.
And she always looked classy. She always looked well dressed and well groomed, but so she had a respect for herself.
And who does? Try to help me understand what she sounded like when she sang.
She sounded like me.
You don't like the way she sang? Is that what you mean?
No. She had a very, very low voice, but she was a belter. She had this strong, powerful voice. They didn't have microphones back then, but that's why she was so great.
Back in 1915, somebody was reviewing her and had to leave early from the performance. And he got to his typewriter, and he said, I just came from Sophie. She's still singing, and if you open your window, you can hear her, too.
Oh, gosh.
I found the movie, The Outrageous Sophie Tucker. I found the trailer on YouTube.
Yes.
I hope somebody didn't break the law by putting that on there, but I'm looking at it, and boy, she is the Forrest Gump in the real world. Wow.
Yes. If you go to our Facebook page, too, if you go to the Facebook page of The Outrageous Sophie Tucker, you'll see all the pictures and the trailer as well.
Wow.
Everybody should go there and like us.
Yeah, if you go there and like us, it'll help.
Well, I will do that. Well, she's with everybody. Did I just see Groucho Marx pass by real quick?
Oh, there's wonderful stories in the scrapbooks with the Marx Brothers. They were in vaudeville together, and there was a time in England when they were on the road, and I'm talking about the bathtub or the silverware.
Oh, all right, whatever.
I'm talking about the bathtub. She comes into her room. There's so many of them. She comes into her room after doing a show and exhausted and what have you, and she's with. We heard this from Margaret Whiting. It was Margaret Whiting's mother that was with Sophie at the time, and they come into the room and they go into the bathroom, and there are the four Marx brothers in the bathtub naked.
Oh!
And they were just such characters.
Oh, man. Oh, wow. This is great. You're bringing us to another time that just, it always seems like something I missed. It was one of the, whenever I look back on these times, it's like, wow, they were having a lot of fun back then. And I just missed it. I was at the very tail end of it, I guess. Wow.
Yeah. Well, we're bringing her back so everybody can enjoy her. You know, we made a digital version on you could see it on your computer or on a tablet of the book, I Am Sophie Tucker. And
excellent.
And in that version of the book, at the end of each chapter, we have video and audio extras, which, to what you were saying, it will have, like, if in that chapter we mentioned Harpo Marx or Groucho Marx, we'll have, like, a video of them doing a bit of their routine, or Abbott and Costello.
Let me
it's an enhanced version.
This is available on sophietucker.com.
Okay, that's what I need to ask you because we're almost out of time. I have a copy of the book, I Am Sophie Tucker. Call me if you want the copy that was sent to us. The rest of us have to go buy it and look for the movie, The Outrageous Sophie Tucker. And real quickly, Susan or Lloyd, give us a website again.
It's sophietucker.com.
Sophietucker.com. All right. Thank you both. And we have to say goodbye quickly. Let me give this book away. You've got the book. Who's this?
Oh, thank you so much for the book. This is Mary.
Okay, Mary. It'll be waiting for you.
Enjoy it.
Susan and Lloyd, thank you for being on with us today. That was a very fun interview.
Thank you so much.
A lot.
Take care.
All right, we'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Milliam Wu. A Philadelphia woman whose abduction was caught on surveillance video, now safe at home after being found in Maryland.
Delvin Barnes is being held at the Baltimore County Detention Center. He has a hearing via video link. That is a bond hearing. He is wanted.